realize most of the questions I ask you concern Tavern heroes. And why do players pick them in the match? Do you know a page site that explains Tavern heroes' utility? I don't know of that, but I'd love to do a quick run through for you. Just to give you a quick idea. But you gotta promise me you'll watch the VOD and write it down in your notes, or that you'll remember perfectly. Because I'm gonna go rapid fire. Alright, so Naga Sea Witch has a slow that allows primarily ranged armies to pick off enemy units. She's particularly good early game. Because she's a Tavern hero, she comes out quickly like everyone else. But unlike some of them, she's immediately incredibly useful. She increases the effectiveness of ranged armies by making sure that they can secure the kill. She's typically used for either undead or night elf, which run ranged armies and they want to do some quick pressure to pick off units. Beastmaster, as one of the summoning heroes, is best when you have a small army. So that's the opposite of a large army. Like Naga wants a large ranged army to excel with. You don't go Demon Naga and then use no units and then fight. But Beastmaster is kind of the opposite. This half-orc ogre male creates an army of his own. When you have no army and you create an army, you've got more army than you had before. You suddenly have an army. And because of this, summoning heroes like Beastmaster fill a void where you have no units, or especially no units on the front line. More than any other, almost, you should see Beastmaster as a tank. You make him to waste time, buy time, to have a quick on-demand army while you're getting something much better. Almost always, the low value of the Beastmaster proves you're getting some high value unit. So you'll very rarely see Beastmaster mass tier 1. This used to be how we played it, but that's no longer good. Instead, when you see Beastmaster, it's almost always a reason to suspect tier 3 tech by an opponent. Some kind of griffins, steam tanks, whatever. Firelord is also a summoning hero, just like Beastmaster. But unlike the Beastmaster, the lava spawn is expensive to cast and it needs protection. So unlike Beastmaster, who has throwaway summons, Firelord's lava spawns need protection. If they're the only thing on the field, they will be killed. But when there are many other threats, usually large, cheesy army sizes, loads of headhunters, loads of ghouls, loads of footmen, when there's so many other things, maybe even towers going up, the lava spawn is more easily ignored and it will reach its 15 enemy unit hit requirement to split off into 2. This can happen several times, so a lava spawn can actually split to become so many lava spawns. So Firelord is a momentum hero summoner. Beastmaster is a waste your time, buy time for something else. So although they're both summoners, they almost serve the opposite function. Large, like strong armies enabler. Weak plentiful army enabler is Firelord. Then you've got the Dark Ranger. She's similar in Naga Sea Witch that she has a activatable arrow, an autocast arrow, that she spends mana and that adds damage. But the Naga enables large armies to get kills. The Dark Ranger does almost no such enabling. But when she gets kills, the army gets stronger. So she's kind of a snowball hero. And her second ability, Silence, is a short period of time where an opponent cannot cast spells. So Dark Ranger is not a slow boil, a slow burn hero. Dark Ranger is uniquely suitable to hit timing attacks. Kill many creeps, 10 creeps, get 10 skeletons, do an attack that is designed to be either crippling or game ending. Hit someone with the silence, remove their ability to heal or to stun you, and then you kill something very quickly with Coil and Nova, for instance. So Dark Ranger is very much a surgical hero. You hit at a very clean timing, very early, as early as you can, with the most dangerous army that you can by this time, and then you go in for the kill. Stylistically, as a third hero for Undead, most common, and that makes her very different from the Pit Lord. The Pit Lord is for players that like to play slower games with Undead. Many races make use of Pit Lord these days, but he is for a slower gameplay. His cleave attack does a lot of DPS, but one cleave attack doesn't do much. You need many attacks in order to get value in a fight. Same with Howl of Terror. You're removing DPS from your opponent, but that doesn't win you the fight right away. Opposite is the Dark Ranger. She silences, you gotta make something happen. Enemy may be able to dispel silence, or they can outweight silence. For that reason, Dark Ranger needs to be played very cleanly. Pit Lord is a bit more messy, slow burner. So we see Pit Lord being used by Night Elves, by Orcs, by Undeads, and it's almost always with Cleave and Howl of Terror. Though Undead will use Rain of Fire ability, together with Cleave, to pressure human expansions. Goblin Alchemist is special. He is the only healer in the game that is in the Tavern. Again, every Tavern hero is an immediate hire instead of an altar training, which is 1 minute. So anytime you go for a Tavern hero that is second or third, it is a minute faster on the game than altar heroes, and it spawns in the middle of the map. So if you're looking to defend your base, that's a disadvantage. You hire him in the middle, and then he needs to walk home and defend your home. So you gain a minute, lose 30 seconds. So you gain 30 seconds. But if you're attacking an opponent, it's the opposite. If you're attacking them in their main, you gain 60 seconds, and then you gain another 30 seconds or 60 seconds for not having to walk to your opponent's base. So this is something to keep in mind with Tavern heroes. They are aggressive in general, either to fight over creeps in the middle of the map or to fight in an enemy base. Alchemist can be hired over another healing hero like the Paladin or the Shadow Hunter if you like that type of healing, AoE, Area of Effect. But for some races he's unique. Some races don't have an altar hero with healing at all. Actually, some races is called Night Elf. Every race has some kind of healing, but Night Elf does not. So Night Elf, for Night Elf, Alchemist is the go-to healer. And if you compare him to healing mass mountain giant or mass archers, he is more effective usually at healing archers, though he's still good with mountain giants. He really enables large tier 1 armies, and he is more mana efficient at healing hunters archers. If he drinks all the moonwells and then he heal sprays the tier 1, that's more mana efficient for your moonwells than if you heal each individual huntress and archer themselves on the moonwells. So he's a very good second hero for Night Elf after opening with either Warden, Demon Hunter, or Keeper. Hell, even with Possum first, though that's not as common. Yeah. And then Acid Bomb enables damage dealing through physical means. It deals damage by itself, but it also has an armor debuff that enables physical based armies to deal more damage. It goes without saying that if you have one bear or one huntress and then you get Alchemist, it's not as useful to debuff someone's armor. You'd rather straight up deal damage with Fire Breath. It's better if you have already a decent sized army. Heavy tier 1 armies both need the heal as well as benefit from Acid Bomb more than small armies. So he's your mass unit type of enabler. And that's why we see Mass Huntress Archer into Alchemist. Pandaren Brewmaster is the original gangsta late game monster. His level 6 is incredibly powerful. Many of Tavern heroes have really strong level 6s, but these 4 have the strongest level 6s, then Tinker, and then these 3. These 3 have level 6s ultimates that counter buildings mostly. These 4 are insane at army control. And then the Tinker is kind of a defensive anti-building ult as well. So the Pandaren has like 200 DPS per auto attack when he splits into 3. He also has really good AoE spells, and he has a mana saving passive if that's what you want instead. Panda is not that good at level 1, though he's decent. He's also one of the best early game building killers, so if you want to apply burrow pressure, peasant pressure You want to attack fast expansions. You'll see people pick up Panda second sometimes. He's not that good at defending like an early mass ghoul rush. Though he has splash damage, level 1 Panda doesn't have enough mana or damage to kill them. You'll more usually see Alchemist second or Naga second when it comes to defending against like mass footman rush, mass ghoul rush. Still, the Panda's decent, but he's mostly a late game monster and he really comes online from level 3 onwards. Finally, you've got the Tinker. The Tinker is unique in that he creates a summon that, like all other summons, does give experience points when you kill it. But this factory creates summons that do not give experience points when they are killed, nor are they denied their value. The Goblin Factory from the Tinker creates clockwork goblins that even when you kill them, they still explode and deal splash damage. That's like as if you coil nova the Bat Rider, that it would still blow up on enemy air, which is not the case. So that makes Factory a unique summon, similar to Swarm Hosts in StarCraft and Brute Lords that throw summons that there is no satisfaction in killing them. The Factory is fairly easily killed, unlike Swarm Hosts, and that one does give experience. Goblin Tinker, although he's an intelligence hero and has a good mana pool, he is kind of like a tank hero as well, similar to the Beastmaster, but more defensive, more positional. Beastmaster sends summons everywhere and they go over the whole map. Tinker takes a position, kind of like the Shadow and the Snake Wards. He's like, here's my factory. And if you protect the factory, it becomes a tank for you. But if you use the factory as a tank, it becomes useless for you, because it dies too easily. So you have to place it strategically. Historically, the Tinker has been used as a first hero or a third. Occasionally as a second, but usually as a first or a third. First, you creep with him, enabling him with Militia or Ancient of War creeping. You get him to high level and you solo him to rush to level 6, where he becomes a building killing monster and he can become permanently magic immune. But he's more common as a third, usually to enable large spellcaster armies that have no tank, like the Mass Talon tactic from Night Elf against Orc. That's what Tinker is used for. His rockets are actually buffed in the last few years. They now also hit air. They also deal damage to mechanicals and buildings. And they do a short stun, so it's a good interrupt. Many times where Twitch chat says, wouldn't you like to have a Dark Ranger to interrupt Dragonhawk's Shackle? Or maybe deal with some channel and silence them. Usually Tinker is a better choice. His rockets are cheaper solution than silence and they're more spammable as well. If all you need is a short interrupt to stop an enemy stampede from the Beastmaster, or maybe to stop a big bad voodoo, Tinker's your guy. Hope you enjoyed the Tavern overview. Yes, you can dispel the mecha goblins from the factory, but as I said, they will still explode for damage. And they also have auto attack damage, so they draw aggro from opponents. That makes the factory a good tank. Good day, mate. I hope you, Cass, and Logan are healthy and happy. I keep losing to late game Night Elf, either Demon or Keeper, Alchemist, Mountain Giant, Mass Archers. I'm using Headhunter, Shaman, Tauren. Yeah, don't go Tauren. Don't go for Tauren. Go for Mass Headhunter, 3-2 upgrades or something close to it. 6 Shaman with Master, 6 Witch Doctor with Master. I don't know, Sadayu. I don't think placements have worse matchmaking. Yes, I will. I am a flex.